There we go. You got it. All right. Make sure this is correct. Okay, I think we're good. All right, for real. Good morning, Brian. Welcome in. Cece, thanks for liking the live. Today we're going through 2 Samuel chapter 11. This is an incredibly feel-good chapter where everyone's going to walk away from today being encouraged and uplifted. And that is a joke because it's not. It's actually pretty sad. It's going to be fun. Today we're going through the story of Bathsheba and David and how David's continual desire and lust drive him to incredibly drastic sin. It's really, really sad. Very sad. And so we'll go through that today. Before we do that, we'll go through our proverb of the day, as well as our gratitude of the day, which will be good. Proverb today comes from Proverbs 17, verse 6, and that says, "Grandchildren are the crown of the aged, and the glory of children is their fathers." Oh, beautiful chapter about the love of children. Sending that back down so we can go die to this guy a few times. We're also going to be fighting the Dragon Slayer armor, which will be fun. All right. Okay, he does multiple hits. Nice. Okay, we're all right. We're all right. You have to roll fast. You can't do that slow. Here, okay. Got it. Oh, okay. Oh, goodness. Holy smokes. It'll be okay. What's that guy doing? Oh, okay. Good. They're shooting stuff at me. Well, all right, we're going to be okay. I'm going to stand over behind this, okay? You come over here. Wow. This is actually going drastically well for this being the first real time I've fought this guy. Oh, never mind. I'll take that back. Should have said watch this. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, good. They're shooting lasers now. I like how this guy's hard because of the other people around him fighting. Cool. What's up, Heavenly Breath? Watch this, dude. You ready? We're going to first try this guy. See? And there's no way I'm falling off this cliff. Nope. Hold on. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to do the jumping thing. All right. Today I'm grateful, one, for swaddles. Oh, thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. We just die a lot to bosses in Dark Souls, and then we read the Bible together. we're going through our gratitude for today. We go through 3 things we're grateful for. Today, I'm very thankful for swaddles. The idea of essentially putting my child in a straitjacket has always been a big blessing. 2, very, very grateful for my dad. He's been going through some health stuff recently, but we got to celebrate his birthday yesterday, and it was great. And I'm very, very grateful for him. I've got a very big legacy to live up to, and I'm thankful that I do. And then 3rd, man, all the green's coming out, and this place looks beautiful right now, and I'm super grateful for that. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. All right, recap real quick. 2 Samuel has followed David's rise from like a grieving servant to a victorious king. After Saul's death, David slowly unites Israel and establishes Jerusalem as the capital and experiences military success and national stability. God makes a covenant promising an eternal kingdom through David's line, pointing forward ultimately to the Messiah. David also demonstrates remarkable mercy, especially toward Mephibosheth, that is Saul's descendant through Jonathan. And that points, all of this points ultimately forward to the true coming Messiah, which is Jesus Christ. By chapter 10, David's kingdom is expanding through military victories. But now, chapter 11 is going to shift dramatically. So we've had this really, really positive forward progress for a little bit. We see, the kingship established. We see all this point forward to what God is bringing about to his people, and David bringing success to them. It's beautiful. And now this is where, and we've seen some shadows of this to be coming. We know this is going to come, right? It keeps bringing up these little, it's rolled way too early. These little tidbits of like, yeah, it's going all great. I just feel like I should have gone through that. Ooh, he almost got me. Not today. Agent Iron, welcome in. All right, we'll focus on. I'm sorry. That was bad. So even in the time when he is established as king, and it's this beautiful chapter of like all positive, everything's going well, and then there's just like this one like little 2-sentence line about how, and David took for himself more wives and more concubines and had more children. And it's kind of a throwaway line that doesn't directly point to anything. Not a throwaway line, but it's not like it said, and this was bad. But this was directly in contradiction to what God had said in Deuteronomy a king should do. And so we're seeing here the outcome of that here in chapter 11. So, starting at verse 1. In the spring of the year, the time when kings go into battle. Also, Heavenly Breath, thank you for the harp, man. I appreciate that. In the spring of the year, the time when kings go out to battle, David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel. And they ravaged the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah. But David remained in Jerusalem. So this is going back in time just a little bit. I just hit my mic. Our last chapter was essentially describing the battle against the Ammonites, and now it's telling you what David was doing during that time after the chapter ends. So it was very common in this time for there to be essentially like seasons of war, because going to battle in the wintertime with the weather and everything else just was not good, so most people wouldn't do it. So instead they set up these like unspoken rules with each other that, hey, we're only going to go to war against each other when we can all go to war and it can be a fair fight. But rather than David going, which he very much should have, it's a very clear comment on the fact that he is abandoning the duty that he should have had. He did not go. He stayed back. David remained at Jerusalem. And it happened late one afternoon when David arose from his couch, again, pointing to the fact that this dude is sitting around chilling while his men... I could have hit it. Oh, he missed. And that worked out well. All right. It's pointing to his sloth, essentially, right? He's getting off his couch. He should have been a battle. He's not doing that. So instead of just sitting around, you gotta take a drink real quick. There we go. We're good. Oh, okay. That was a bad time to try and follow that up. Okay. All right, we're good. So he rises from his couch and is walking on the roof of the king's house. This term walking on the roof of the king's house actually has like in the context of the language. This is what I'm reading from a commentary. I don't know the language myself, so bear that in mind. But it has the context of like pacing back and forth, so it's like an uncomfortable walk, as though it's almost pointing to the fact that he knows he should be out doing something, and instead he's sitting back and resting, and so he's not able to sleep, and he's pacing back and forth on the roof. It's the type of walk that he's doing. So he's walking on the roof and of the king's house. Remember that the king's house is likely up toward Mount Zion, the stronghold, which is Jerusalem's built almost on like a hill / mountain. So he can see pretty much the entire city from the roof. Thanks. BLI security account. Welcome in. Happy you're here. And he sees from the roof a woman bathing. And the woman is very beautiful. It's also likely that it is closer to night. There's some people who... Thanks for sharing, man. I appreciate that. Some people who... I don't think this is really Bathsheba's fault. There's some commentators who believe that Bathsheba likely knew that she was exposed and probably shouldn't have been. I don't know about that enough to even make a call on that. But anyway, he sees her. This is where we see... Hold on. We're good. Should have swung earlier. He blocked himself. We'll get back to this in just a second. I'm going to be distracted while I'm fighting this guy. Okay. We're okay. We're all right. One, two. Nope, there it again. Shouldn't have done that. Sorry. I'm getting greedy. Sometimes you don't heal when you think you should heal. And that's the key to winning. And sometimes it's the key to death. It's a little delayed. We're alright, we're alright. We're going to rotate around. Hold on. 1, 2. Okay, I was going to say, sometimes he swings a third time. Hold on. 1, 2. Okay, we got it. We're good. Hold on. I'm just going to keep saying hold on. Okay, you can swing right there, just so you guys know. If you roll toward me, you can actually swing. I think they're both shooting at the same time. Block. Ouch. All right. Okay. Never mind. All right. We gotta get some more hits in. I think I just died. I died. Okay. So he's walking on the roof, pacing back and forth. He sees a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful. This is pointing out the fact that, man, David's one fallback, one issue is that he has a massive problem with the lust. It's very, very consistent. He takes more and more wives for himself, more and more concubines. And so what we're seeing here is a culmination of this man's struggle, his temptation. And he's got multiple options to give up on this, move on from it. Oh, so sorry about that. Drew P. I'll just call you Drew P. How about that? We don't have to push ourselves. You're right. We could have had it easy. So he sees her bathing, and it would be enough if he just saw her, looked away, moved on, and I didn't send it back. Went back inside and left it alone. But he doesn't do that. He sees her, and rather than allowing his eyes to like see that, bounce off and leave, which is what we should all do as men who struggle with lust, is have eyes that bounce away from what we're looking at. He does not do that. He holds on, and then he goes further. So David sent and inquired about the woman, and one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? This is massively important. So this is God providing a way out. This very comment on who she is God providing a way out for David. Because we find out later exactly who these people are. So Eliam is one of David's mighty men. We learn about this in 2 Samuel 23:34. Her grandfather, because Eliam is the son of Ahithophel, one of David's chief counselors. And Uriah the Hittite is also one of David's mighty men as well. So it's not just this some random woman, not that that would be any better if it was, but it is that she is not just a random woman, she's actually both the family and wife of people that David knows very, very well. So in this moment, it's essentially like, hey, thank you so much, Big Andy, for following. In this moment, it's like a warning from the people and from God to be like, hey, you have the opportunity here to get out, and you should. So he's given the opportunity on the roof to look away, walk away, do something else. Hey, Bruce, thanks for following, man. And then when he finds out who this woman is and who she's related to, this is massively, massively dangerous for him. Gonna roll into that one. Hey, we dodged it that time. We're good. All right. Oh, that was bad. Backing up. Drink. All right, we're good. Oh, I'm stuck. Come here. Oh, I thought it was two. We still got a hit. We're good. All right. I'll roll a little early. 1, 2. Good job, everybody. Well done. Okay, we're gone. We did it. What's up, Jonathan? Hello. All right, so he's got the opportunity. He should stop here. It's very, very clear. This is just, first of all, a married person. Nice job. Thank you, Agent Iron. Thanks for the GG, Heavenly Breath. I appreciate it. Married woman should turn away, does not. He also knows, he knows the men of whom this woman is related to. That still does not deter him. This is not a sin that comes out of nowhere. It is a sin that he's been struggling with his entire life. And we see a just complete lack of foresight and a complete lack of wisdom when it comes to the sin of women in his life and in his heart. And so, instead of turning away, David sent messengers and took her, and she came to him, and he lay with her. One thing here, there is a lot of people who talk about this is a man. The power dynamics in this would make it to where this was essentially like him taking her without her acceptance. From what I'm reading from commentators, the way that this is phrased, if David sent messengers and took her, and she came to him, make it sound like it is it's mutual, based upon the language at the time. Could be wrong on that. His power definitely probably leans into this, and her decision to go to him. But it is phrased in a way that makes it sound like this was sin on both sides, not just David doing something evil to a woman who did not want to. I think that's important to note. And we'll see more of that come out later.
Take nourishment from these
But
souls.
it also references now she had been purifying herself from her uncleanness. This making the point that she was not pregnant prior, right? She had just gotten done with her time of the month. So she was not, there was no chance that she was pregnant before, which makes the point that this is 100% David's child. Also, TikTok Toe. Thanks for following, man. Appreciate it. Hold on. We're probably going to do this. That. And that.
Farewell, mayst thou.
Can we progress from there, or is that a dead end? We should get his. We need to get his axe. Hold on, we gotta go back. We're gonna get his axe. So he takes her. They lie together. Then she returns to her house, and the woman conceived, and she sent and told David, "I am pregnant." A lot of stuff here. A lot going on with this. This would be terrifying news to get both for him, as well as for her. And they both know it. In Leviticus, it talks about if a man commits adultery with the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress so shall surely be put to death. So now we see what started as just a sin of the eyes grows and grows and grows into this massive thing that now has become essentially uncover-upable. So what should have been something that, man, he sees this woman, he lusts after her, and it leads to more and more and more just division, problems. It's a massive issue, and it's an issue for all of us. This is something that's really, really important for us to think about as we go forward in our lives. There's a lot of us who deal with zero. Oh, it doesn't cost anything.
I took them that choose thy fate alone, all the more.
Seems like he's not happy about something. Let's see if we can level this thing up a little bit.
Just wasn't
Dude. Titanite scale. Doesn't have that high. Oh, I can't even lift it currently.
Pretty be careful. I go.
Over here. Do that.
Just wasn't
Okay. That's the size we're getting it. We're at a C. It's at 298.
Pretty be
Oh,
careful.
he's got a... Hold on, let's give him a coal.
Just wasn't. My, seems like ages, but I missed my thanks. I'll be smithing weapons. It's but a small.
Does anyone know what that does? Does that allow him to... It does. It allows him to infuse more.
Pretty be. I go.
All right, let's rock. 298, 73. We're gonna try it. This will be fun. Let's do it. Okay, so she tells him she's pregnant. This is very dangerous for both her and for him. Massive problem. So, David now has the opportunity once again. There's an opportunity for repentance, to come clean, to show himself. He has the option to do that. His sin of looking at a woman lustfully has led to massive problems, and now he's got the opportunity to turn it around, repent. But we see he does not do that, and we see what often is the same thing that we lead to ourselves when we give into temptation, is he then begins to try and cover it up. So David sent word to Joab, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah came to him, thanks, Christina. Thanks for following. When Uriah came to him, David asked how Joab was doing and how the people were doing and how the war was going. A nice little feeble attempt to make small talk as he's trying to scheme his way out of what's going on here. So I was like, hey, I just wanted you to come by and tell me how things were going. What's going on with the battle? I'm still sitting over here. I should be out there with you guys, and I'm not. So what's happening? What's good? What's bad? That's just a thing on the floor. That's nothing. So yeah, exactly. So how are things going? What's going good? What's going bad? Nothing to note here. Everything's fine. Everything's all right. Another scale. We're good. All right. Then David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. Hey, why don't you just head home? You've been away from your wife for a long time. I've been sitting here chilling. Should have been out there with you. I wasn't. Now just, go home to your wife. Have a nice night's rest. Maybe consummate your marriage together. Make sure that you guys are still good. There's no hidden path there. Don't lie to me. And Uriah went out of the king's house, so he seemingly is like, all right, and he leaves, but he doesn't go home. And there followed him a present from the king. But Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of his lord, and did not go down to his house. So now things are getting worse. Secret required ahead. Nope, it doesn't move. Doesn't move. Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. You're absolutely right. I can't read your name because it's backwards, and I'm terrible at... it looks like it's upside down, too. And so I don't have any way to read that or pronounce it because I have problems enough reading English on my own. But you're absolutely right. Seems like he said that in hopes that he could plan a pregnancy on him. Absolutely. He's like, hey, go home. Just maybe sleep with your wife. And then, at least in the next few months... Concert photographer. There you go. In the next few months... thanks, Tyler. I appreciate it, man. The next few months, you'll be having a baby, and you'll think it's your own baby, and everything will be fine. I'll get off scot-free. I'm gonna be okay. You just go home and sleep with her, and then you can think that's your son, even though it's my illegitimate child. And so, what's interesting about this to me is that his end goal is to leave Bathsheba in the hands of Uriah, to not take her for himself. What does this do? Okay, cool. Try it again. Come here. Okay, he's smart. He won't come in here. All right. Nope. Okay. Roll out. We'll be all right. All right, I'm gonna roll past you, and then I'm gonna do this. Not today. I really don't like this, guys. I'm not a fan. Okay, you do that, I'll do this. Got it. Time for chaos rolls. That's right. There was another Titanite chunk. That's nice. But we see that Uriah's far too honorable of a man. And he's like, you know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll just acknowledge what you told me to do, but then I'll just go sleep right outside your door because I'm too good of a guy. For the first Souls game, should I do this or Elden Ring? I would say you should go do Elden Ring. But nowhere is a bad place to start. I started with Dark Souls 1, and that is a very, very good game as well. Oh, is this the main door? I need to find a way to go get that. We're gonna go this way. Elden Ring is really, really good, man. And it's open world, and you can run around. You don't have to get stuck fighting a specific person. This you're more likely to be like forced to fight somebody. So if you start with Elden Ring, it goes pretty well. Can't go through that door. Here we go. We found a ladder. All right. When they told David, Uriah did not go down to his house, David said to Uriah, have you not come from a journey? Why did you not go down to your house? And Uriah's like, listen, man, the ark of Israel and Judah dwell in booths or tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are camping in the open field. Shall I then go to my house to eat and drink and lie with my wife? As you live and as your soul lives, I will not do this thing. So this is both an assertion of Uriah's character, as well as a pretty, it's indirect. I don't think that Uriah is meaning it in the way that it's possibly coming across, but it's a call out of David, because David is sitting there and he's like, listen, there's no way I'm going to go home and enjoy my wife and enjoy food and drink when all of my men are out in battle. And David's sitting here sheepishly knowing that that's exactly what he's doing. He's sitting at home, and it's led, and this is something that stands out to me is, man, when I struggle with temptation, especially in the area of lust, it is most often when I have nothing going on, and then I'm stuck looking for, hello, this looks scary. Hold on, we're gonna go here. Not today. When you got nothing going on, you're not staying in line with what God has called you to do, and instead you're sitting around. Look at this figure eight. Watch this. No, okay. Rotate. Sweet. Bob. Weave. Missed. All good, Grump, man. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. I'm officially out of coffee. Weave. Yep, Bob and Weave. What does this say? Be wary of pointless. Okay, cool. So glad that they were to help me out. We're going to go down here. And that's when David's sin comes up as well. What's your view on someone who isn't religious but still abides by similar morals? What's my view on those people? I'm so blessed, Grump, by the way. Doing well. We're about to start a new week, and I'm excited for it. Funny enough, when David's himself before the throne stained, so it's all even when David's himself before the throne abstained. Hey, photographer, can you explain what you mean by what are you referring to there? Back with you, Tyler. Here's where I'm at, man. One of the things that we're learning through the morality of like 2 Samuel in the Old Testament is that first off, anyone who wants to abide by the rules that God has set forth, I'm grateful for. But one thing that I've really learned is that we cannot honor God just based on good deeds. Elisha, when Saul was running after him and there was constant battles, he abstained. All right. Terrible time. Back up. Oh, my goodness. Morning, Garrus. We're reading through 2 Samuel 11. It's the story about how David's life got turned upside down. You did it. Well done. I think what's interesting, concert photographer, about what you're talking about is he is very good at understanding the moral of God's character, which leads to him not taking the throne unto himself, even when God seemingly gives him multiple opportunities to kill the killed the current king. What does this do? Do I have sunlight metals? There you go. All right, we're good. Let's get up and leave. Okay, it's not a mimic. I thought it was a mimic for a second. Let's roll. My town is very, you're damned if you question God, but I question everything to learn more. I think questioning God is not a problem at all. I don't see that as an issue. Here's what I'll say, man. What I do know is that my morality alone is not going to get me close enough to God. We see a man right here after God's own heart that is some of the best among any of his people, and God brings about blessing, but then we see this grievous sin that he still falls into, because we all fall into sin. And it is a picture of the fact that without Christ, there is no way for me to be in right standing with God. Did his mom and dad move him to Bel Air? Yeah. You got it, Garrus. I appreciate that. All right. We're moving forward. He did love God so much. And we see like he is redeemed even through this, even though there's massive consequence for it, which we're going to find out in the next coming couple chapters. But he's looking to cover it up still. And we see that like his entire like morality is now completely abandoned as he desperately attempts to cover this up. And he's like, listen, why didn't you go home? You should have gone home and with your wife. Your eyes like, listen, I would never do something like that. Look at where the Ark of God are. Look at where our men are. And David's sitting there feeling more and more convicted, I would imagine, because he's sitting there at home doing exactly what Uriah says he would never do. And it's this beautiful contrast of their two characters in the moment. So, David said to Uriah, remain here today also, and tomorrow I will send you back. So here's me hoping that now that you know you're going back to the battlefield tomorrow, maybe you'll actually take your time and go home, sleep with your wife. I can cover this horrible thing up that I did, and no one has to know. Everyone's going to be okay. Bathsheba will stay as your wife. You'll never know that I cheated with her on you, and we'll go from there. Yeah, that's a very, very good call out. And he does have what's his name? There's so many guys' names that start with A that I always forget which one's which. But concert photographer is right. He speaks to him quite a bit. And what I'm actually of the belief that most of the time when he inquires of the Lord, he's inquiring through that method. Because most of the time the answers given back are likely in a yes/no fashion that constantly drill down further and further. Welcome in, Wah. Thanks for following. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem that day and the next, and David invited him, and he ate in his presence and drank, so that he made him drunk. So now he's actively attempting to get this guy drunk enough to go home and lay with his wife so that he can pin the pregnancy on him. And in the evening, he went out to lie on his couch with the servants of his Lord, but he did not go down to his house. In the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. So when he realizes there is no way to get this guy to abandon his morals, to go home, he can't even get him drunk enough to do it. He's like, okay, well, now we got to take the next step into my hands, which is, I didn't know that there wasn't a ground there. That was my bad. Any good book recommendations as of late, aside from the good book? Man, I don't know. Are you wanting like a Christian-based book, or are you wanting like any book? What's up, Erich Von Erich? Good morning, man. Okay, so this is all a dead end. I don't think there's a lantern in this game, Heavenly Breath. I think that you're lying to me. I don't think there's a lantern. I feel like if there was a lantern, I would have it. There's no lantern in this game. There's no way. Someone's going to have to prove me. Just first thing that comes to your mind. Lord of the Rings. It's the first thing that came to my mind. Or a C.S. Lewis book. I like both of those. I don't know. I'm not a huge. You have to buy it. Okay. All right. Hold on. Thanks, Rice Bowl. That's what we needed. Okay. So David writes a letter to Joab and then sends it by the hand of Uriah. So he essentially uses Uriah to deliver his own command for his death, which is devastating and a travesty. Okay, I can buy a torch. I don't think there is a lantern, but there is light spells. There's purging stones. Torch and light spell. Okay. Do I have a torch yet? I might have a torch. Let me see. Hold on. Here you go. Now I'm slow rolling for the sake of this torch. There you go. We have a torch now. Heavenly Breath can't get mad at me anymore. We have it. We're good to go. We're gonna do this. What up, Alex? Welcome in, man.
Welcome home, speak. Very well. Then take.
We're gonna level up one more time. Did that do it? See that? We fixed it. Here we go. We fixed it. Okay, so I'm going to completely derail from where we've been up to this point, because what I want to do now is I want to go to this and actually go into the prison. Okay, so in the letter he writes, set Uriah in the forefront of the hardest fighting and then draw back from him that he may be struck down and die. I have in the past, Agent Iron. I do not have it on this PC. I'll have to buy it when we get to that point. But we'll get there soon. They're running over. I like this axe. I can't remember who told me to get this axe, but I like it. So I'm grateful for whoever told me to get it. Nice try. Easy. Easy. So he makes it very, very clear exactly what he wants. Watch this. See, now we have light. Exactly what he wants Joab to do. This is not like a trick. It's like, hey, Joab, kill this guy for me. Wipe him out. And this is very, very clearly David is flat out killing this man. They go and do a military thing that is so clearly stupid. Anyway, so Joab was besieging the city. He assigned Uriah to the place where he knew there were valiant men, and the men of the city came out and fought with Joab, and some of the servants of David among them fell. Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the news about the fighting. Hold on, I had to sneeze. There we go, we're good. And he instructed the messengers. This is Joab. When you have finished telling all the news about the fighting to the king, then if the king's anger arises, that's what we'll do. We'll do that, Droopy. And he says to you, why did you go so near the city to fight? Did you know that they would shoot them from the wall? Who killed Abimelech, the son of Jerubasheth? Did not a woman cast an upper millstone on him from the wall, so that he died at Thebez? Why did you go so near the wall? Then you shall say, your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also. So this is referencing Judges 9, which is a few hundred years before this. So Judges 9, then Abimelech went to Thebez and encamped against Thebez and captured it. But there was a stronger tower within the city, and all the men and women and all the leaders of the city fled to it and shut themselves in. So they went to the upper roof of the tower, and Abimelech came to the tower and fought against it and drew near to the door of the tower to burn it with fire. And a certain woman threw an upper millstone on Abimelech's head and crushed his skull. And he called quickly to the young man and his armor and said to him, "Draw your sword and kill me, lest they do it themselves." So this is a direct reference. The point here is Joab knew he was taking a stupid approach to this battle in order to get Uriah killed. So it's not like they got lucky and Uriah died. It's like, hey, let's do the dumbest thing we possibly can and put Uriah in the midst of it so that he dies in the battle. And then he's like, hey, when you go tell David what we did, make sure it's very, very clear to him we did this to fulfill what he asked us to do. Because he's probably going to be mad because we know we shouldn't have done this. And so he does. All right. So the messengers went and came and told David all that Joab had said to tell him. And the messenger said to David, "The men gained an advantage over us and came out against us in the field, but we drove them back to the entrance gate. When the archers shot at your servants from the wall, some of the king's servants are dead, and your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead also." So we see the larger leadership, the larger authority that a man has, the more despair that his sin brings. So not only do we see that Bathsheba has been taken and she is now pregnant with an illegitimate child outside of her marriage, we not only see that Uriah is now dead, but we see that his own men died based upon the fact of his sin. And he flat out guided them to their death so that he could cover up his own sin. It is devastating. But it's also a point to us of the more authority, the more role that we've been given. It's terrifying. It's not in there. The more damage that our sin does to those around us. And that includes just having a family. That includes whatever. We've all been given a certain sphere of influence. And that sphere has an impact on the people around us based upon what sin we give into. He didn't get me at all. It's great. He's trying to trick me. It's not going to. He was going to come shove me off that cliff. Oh, it's this one. No. Get him, get him. Nope. Okay. Good, good, good. Roll out, roll out. I've been branded with death. Okay, good. We're dead. That's what I wanted to happen. All right, David said to the messenger. So we now see that even his heart is twisted so much to the point where he doesn't even care. "Thus you shall say to Joab, do not let this matter displease you. For the sword devours now one and now another. Strengthen your attack against the city and overthrow it," and encourage him. Heavenly brother, have a good day, man. Be blessed. And so we see that, man, his joy over not being caught has now put him in a position of being so contrary and outside of his morality from where he was at before. Okay, we're good. Run this way. Nope, roll out. Missed. What is it? What's causing it? Is it the lanterns? Is there any clear picture as to why you lose all your health? I don't know how that works. Okay, great. Now one hit from these guys kills me. All right. Nope. Okay, we're good to go. Is there eyesight? Okay, cool. Good to know. Scary. Watch this. Those guys alive? Oh, that's a guy. That guy's alive. Great. Yeah, that's so important. Concert photographer is, man, when we get caught in sin, our entire role and perspective changes, and it doesn't matter how. Beware of left. Oh, it doesn't matter how generally right we are, or our morality, right? As I think it was Tyler that brought that up, but it's like, man, when we're caught in sin, all of that goes out the window, and we enter a much more debased place. And that's what we see out of David as well. And it's also a point to the fact, man, David is not the end solution. It's showcasing that it's like, man, his failure is going to bring, like, this failure that we're reading about right now brings about so many issues down the line. What's up, Matthew? Yeah, we're in Azkaban right now. Got it. We're good. We're going to see that coming up in the next few chapters as well, is the outcome of what this all leads to, because it's not just the death of the son, which... Come here. Hold on. The good news is we bought that torch, so we can get those guys off us. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. The joke never gets old, Matthew. Every time it's worth it. We get somebody every single time. That's good. All right. When the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead, she lamented over her husband. Devastatingly sad. And when her mourning time was over, David sent and brought her to his house, and she became his wife, and bore him a son. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord, and rightly so. One of the verses that I was struck by, I was thinking about, like, times of sin in my own life, and I was thinking about, like, where that comes from. And David's a good picture of the fact of, like, I think a lot of times it kind of feels ethereal. In Galatians 5 it talks about, but I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. And I think that can feel like ethereal, and like I don't totally know what that means necessarily. But what I think is beautiful about that is we see the outcome of exactly what David should have been doing, right? He should have been out fighting with his men. He never would have seen Bathsheba. He never would have been in the position to do this. We see the fulfillment of, man, it's like there are a lot of people like we struggle with backstabbing. We struggle with certain sins, and then we'll put ourselves in positions, whether it's I'm thinking on the edge of lust, because this is directly what this is tied to, but like we'll put ourselves in positions of watching things that continue to drive that desire forward rather than resisting it. That guy was just a nice guy. I'm so sorry. And so we'll put ourselves in these moments of having nothing to do, having nothing to go and be at instead, not walking by the Spirit, but instead putting ourselves in positions. What's up, Bull? Good morning. Welcome on TikTok, man. It's good to see you. Put ourselves in positions of being open to that temptation, and then that leading to further sin, right, rather than holding ourselves against it. And I look at what David was doing here, and it's a perfect example of this. If he had been walking by the Spirit, because he isn't dwelt by the Holy Spirit. Oh, dude, thanks so much. I hope you enjoy my sultry voice while you're mowing the lawn. We see if he had just resisted that and gone out with his men, all of this would have been kept away from him. And people would not have died. He wouldn't deal with the coming problems that are going to come from this, because this is where a lot of his issues are going to come from. A lot of his issues all throughout the rest of this book. But we do see that God, even through this, is working through it. Right? And I think that's one thing that's hard for us to concept, but we'll see that the direct line of the kingship comes out of Bathsheba. Walking by the Spirit, I feel it's piety, how we honor the Lord day by day with our lives. I think so. I think the Spirit being at work in us is a very unique and mysterious thing, because that's where love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and gentleness and faithfulness and self-control come from. They are literally fruits of the Holy Spirit and staying in step with Him. And so remembering that it's not my own drive, like, I think you're correct. I think that making sure to remember that it's not my drive toward just moral living. Beat who? Yeah, amen, dude. Person's pitfall. I feel like I'm stuck. What am I missing? Also, who stands right here usually? So we need to... Nope, nothing there. We did beat Dragon Slayer armor. Is that what you're talking about? Broken wall where you picked up the pale resin. Ooh, rough stuff telling me where I picked up the pale resin. I don't know where that was. Is it upstairs? Okay. Over here? Oh, I need to continue down this pathway, huh? Found it. We opened it up. We're good. There we go. Hey, we got a key. I went down there. We're good. Hold on. I got to sneeze again. Oh, wait. Nope. All right. We're going to survive. All right. Key points. Spiritual drift often begins very subtly. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Are you a pastor or study theology? Am I a pastor or study theology? In a past I have been a pastor. I'm actually just recently going back into preaching regularly. Actually, I preached this Sunday at church. But I don't think I would characterize myself as a pastor. When you ask, do I study theology, I would say I study the Word. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to be nice. All right, we're gonna live. I don't think I'm smart enough to say, oh yeah, I'm a theology studier. I missed him. Terrible. Okay. But I really, really enjoy the Word. I was waking up naturally at 5 a.m. every morning, so I felt led to just do this instead of playing games with myself and staring at a wall. So that's where this whole comes from. I feel like he's leading me to my death. He is leading me to my death. He's trying. We're good. We did it. Well done, everybody. Great job. What's up, Reaper? Things are good. How are you? Are you going to be nice or are you mean too? Okay, you mean too. I was trying to let you out. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I think it just comes from reading it, man. God's been giving me more and more. For a long time, it was very, very hard for me to stay constant in reading. I mean, God's changed a lot of that and become like this thing that he's just grown loving me for. It's wonderful. And it's not my own doing, for sure. I think I checked this door already, didn't I? Can't open it yet? No. I'm going back upstairs because we've already cleared this area, so I'm going to check all the doors now that I have this key before we go out. Power without accountability becomes dangerous. Man, like, David is doing so well. He's attempting to honor God with his life. And then he has this moment, and we see that playing the only Souls game I have not played through. You should play through it. It's fun. It's a good one. This would be a good one to go check out. So far, I'm pretty much through all of them. I've also played Lies of P once, which was fun. But we see that David ends up using his authority to manipulate people and then, as well as conceal his sin, and then goes further and further to the point where people die based upon his misuse of his authority. And it is devastating. Can I unlock any of these doors? No. How many keys are there to this place? I can open that one, though. The other thing that stood out to me is, man, sin multiplies when covered instead of being confessed. This is why we're called to confess our sins to one another, to be open with one another, is if we don't, our sin continues to multiply more and more and more. Us keeping it in the dark is exactly what the enemy wants. And it is important. So important. And no one is spiritually untouchable. I don't care how well you are, how far you are in life, how much you do for God. You look at David's fulfillment of what God called him to do is massive, man. Like, it's what the majority of us look up to. It's what we hope to be. I look at like his ascent to kingship and it being such a good shadow and image of who Christ is to come. He goes and fulfills all these things that for years and years the people of Israel had neglected to do. All right, we're moving forward. And we see him fulfill all the stuff, conquer the enemies that God tells him to conquer. He is seemingly untouchable. And then we see all of it fall apart as he gives into the one thing that seems to be his downfall consistently, which is the pursuit of women. Sad to see. So life application. Man, guard your heart, especially during seasons of success. That is some of our, we cry out and cry out to God to solve things, to lead us, to show us what we should do and where we should be. And then oftentimes, once we start seeing the fulfillment of what we've called him to do and asked him to do, we'll start to see the getting, hello. That we get caught up in no longer needing to cry out to him. Okay, hold on. So we don't, and we end up back in our sin. Jailer key ring, jailbreaker key, old cell key. Good to know. Am I heading the wrong direction to get any of those? There's nothing down here. We'll keep moving forward. Let's see. I gotta go here pretty soon. I gotta get ready for work. That is not a... Got it. All right. Okay. Hey, we got a symbol of avarice. That's what we needed. We can now farm souls to our life's content. Come here. I guess it's not gonna... Didn't work. No, not yet. We're not doing that yet. We're gonna make sure there's nowhere else to go. It is sick. Actually, I was blown away by how quick we beat the Dragon Slayer armor. I thought that'd be harder. Now we're gonna go die to this simple... Okay, good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Take a quick drink, and we'll get back to it. I gotta roll right after that now. Okay, good. I almost died. All right, watch this. You guys ready? You should go back to sleep every time. Okay, I get caught in the animation. Can't do that. How much health does he? Oh, he has a ton of health. Is that real? Am I just doing no damage to him? Missed him. Nope, missed him again. How does he have so much health? We're not going to do that. Oh, good. Okay, I died. Run pass. If you want to take him out, go for the legs. Okay, good. That's what we needed. Take small compromises seriously. That's the other massive thing, man. We are so used to being like, well, what I'm doing isn't that bad, and it's going to be all right. And what I would say is, man, that is what leads to larger scale sin, and sin that you continue to hide more and more as you go through life. And it's so important that we take even small amounts of our own compromise really, really seriously and allow it as a tool for God to use to move us past it. I think I just escalate his time to get up. Okay, we're going this way. Hold on. Down here. Watch this. We're going to bob and weave. Easy. Every time. I see that as well. That's great. All right, let's keep moving. Major failures usually begin with minor unchecked choices. It's important that we move past them quickly. All right. Confession is better than concealment. It's so important that we confess and just move past what we're doing rather than allowing something to grow to a point where we're not willing to actually confess it. That's where I see the majority of us fail, is we allow things to get to a point where it becomes too terrifying to confess this, so we don't. And we'll just keep it inside. Can I just sneak around? No. Hello. It was important that we do that. Okay, I feel like I rolled through that. Nope, can't drink it. Take a quick sip. Let's keep moving. Good. All right. I gotta go. I gotta be ready for work. All right. Let's not die to these rats. There we go. The last thing I'll say is, man, it's so important that we stay engaged spiritually instead of drifting passively. A lot of this came out of the fact that David was now able to stay back. He wasn't forced to be at war. And so he became passive. That led to massive amounts of failure. Sid, thanks so much for the gamer tater. I don't know what that does, but thank you, man. I appreciate it. Does that make me look like a potato? I really appreciate you. Thank you for the gift, dude. So much. All right, tomorrow we'll be going through 2 Samuel 12. Things don't get brighter from here for this next chapter, so just bear that in mind. It's going to become more sad. But we will see repentance, which is good. Excited for that. All right, in the meantime, you guys be blessed. Keep Christ the center focus of your life. Stay in step with the Spirit. And we'll be back tomorrow for... Oh, hold on, we're going to kill this guy real quick. I didn't realize. I thought that doing that, I would like stun him enough to keep him down. It didn't work. All right, for real, we're gone. You guys have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. my time, Mountain Time. And anyway, love you. Bye. See you tomorrow. Sid, thanks so much for the gifts, man. Agent of Iron, thanks for the heart, me dude. Agent Iron, sorry, not Agent of Iron.